Hi there. This is the Design Your Physician Life podcast, brought to you by our Maxillary Mastermind. Today, I will be talking about designing your business plan. Are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome to the Design Your Physician Life podcast, where you will get excited about being a physician, learn the tools that can help boost your success, and great tips from successful doctors. Join us to unlock the keys to an amazing physician life. And now, here's your host, Dr. Myrdalis Diaz-Ramirez.
Hey guys, I hope that you're doing fine. Welcome to this episode. And today I will be talking about creating or building and designing your own business plan. And I'm going to tell you about how we created our business plan for our clinic, SahaVida Institute. I'm going to review some of the, basic concepts of creating a business plan. I'll give you a little bit of background. And I'll tell you some of the details that we use in our business plan. And why are we going to use this business plan? We're very proud of our business plan. It has changed. It's going to be almost a year since we submitted this to the bank and we were able to get financing. But not all the business plans are done for financing. But I want to tell you about this particular business plan because we got help for it. And our advisor actually really congratulated us. We put a lot of hard work into this business plan and they were very, very proud of it. We're very proud of it too. Our bank really liked the way that we presented things. As I have said, they have evolved in the last year. They're not the same, but that's what we do. There is nothing more certain than change, and change has happened in our business. We usually do our business plan. We think that is, written just for obtaining financing. And it's really the most important reason is to put everything on paper, to understand what that idea will become, what the management, how you're going to be using this to manage your clinic in our case, it's our clinic, our business, now as well as in the future. So it's going to be a very well-written document that's hopefully going to describe and analyze your business in detail. It will be for short-term and for long-term. And in the future, hopefully you're in a business that, can see growth. And that growth sometimes can lead for you to get investors or sell your business. And this will help you organize there. So it can help you identify current problems, short-term problems, long-term problems, short-term potential and long-term potential. There's some different programs that are out there to write business plans. And we actually had used one in the past that was provided to us by the Small Business Administration. And when we finally got to this other advisor, he said, "Oh my goodness, that's way more than what you need." And yes, it was. There was pages, like over 40 pages of information there that we would have gone through. But this advisor really helped us. We were able to nail just the main questions that we needed, and we were able to obtain, in our case, financing. And now we're at a stage where we're going to be reviewing our plan. Usually when you present a plan, it's going to start with the executive summary, and that is the last thing that one will build after you've done all the research and fill out everything. But before we get to the specifics of the plan, I want to tell you about how we got to our plan first. We had the idea. We had the idea of this business. One of our partners called me one day and she asked, "Hey, do you know of a place in Sarasota where I can rent a space? I want really to go there and work there." And it wasn't, I think it was 2 hours later that I had this whole presentation about this idea I had on my mind, which today is our SahaVida Institute. I called her right back. And, I told her when she called me, "You know what, give me a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and find out." And what I did was this was my opportunity to really go ahead and take this idea and give it to somebody. And here we are today with this clinic. So that was the initial call that rolled up all this whole process. Really was the trigger. Once we had this idea and we talked about it and we tried to, enroll different physicians, and we came up with what our team is these days, we then needed we decided to use, OPM, right? Other people's money, from Robert Kiyosaki. We use financing. For that purpose, we created this particular business plan. However, even if we were not going to obtain other people's financing, we would still have written a business plan, because it's very important for you to put everything on paper. Any ideas, it's going to help you organize, see where your flaws are, what blind spots you might have. And still, even you put everything and you put all this effort, things happen and things change, and not everything's going to be there, but it's going to help you really make your business a reality in a way that is going to be it's going to be easier to explain to others. It's going to be a document that you can use to communicate throughout the institution, and amongst anybody who's involved in it, to really make it successful. So different parts of the business plan, besides the financing, when you're creating it, it really will help you to identify your strengths and your weaknesses. I said it's going to really correct any details that you might have, as I said, blind spots that you might have. It's going to help you project. And I think from everything, this is the hardest part for me, project who's going to come to my business. I don't know who's going to come. We're going to make every single effort to have people come to our business, and we're going to, put some pricing there, but is it the right thing? We don't know. We really don't know, but you have to make your well-educated guess. And this is where you put it. You put it in this plan. It's going to help us guide us through the development and fine-tuning of our business. And we do this through creating like clear objectives, as clear as you can. It's going to provide any answers if, in the future, not only for the people who are financing right now, when you come and review this version that you have, it's going to have different versions. So any investors right now, or financial people right now, and then in the future as well, it's going to help us put in terms of chronological order the things that we are doing, the things that we're going to be doing for the future. And it keeps our focus, and it helps us improve our odds for success. In our case, as I said, we had help from the SBDC, so the Small Business Administration, and I encourage everybody here to go and access the Small Business Administration. Building this plan with them, and I have to give kudos, it was Mr. Bradley Mix here in Tampa, and he was wonderful with us. He was very patient. He guided us. He gave us exactly what we needed, and not only what we needed to build this plan, but many other benefits that we've had. What other things that we had from the Small Business Administration? And I tell you this because I'm so happy with their service, and I know that you can use their services too, and it's all free access. So we were able to build this business plan. We were able to get financing with connections from that we obtained through the Small Business Administration, through our bank. Is a local bank, and they have been really great with us. We've also been able to obtain other services that you will need, and you will need to detail to put this in your business plan, how you're going to market your business. And we've had a marketing advisor, we've had an SEO advisor for our website, and the changes have been really great, really helpful. We've also had we won a contest, and it was thanks to our advisor, Mr. Mix, who told us he knows our business, what we've worked together, and he told us you would be great for this particular contest. And as soon as he told me, I immediately submitted, and we won a total of $15,000, really $5,000 a month on TV ads. So we had to put the ad there, and this company, if you don't have an ad, if you win, they will help you build an ad as well. We had the resources to build an ad, and that was done. But we've had a TV ad for now close to 2 months. And that, along with some other things that we've done online, we've seen some uptake in our business. So we're very grateful to them. So first thing, if you're going to have a business, and, especially whatever it is, service or product, brick and mortar, online, business plan, SBDC, I recommend it. Small Business Administration, take advantage of them, especially if you've never ever done a business before. And if you had a business, you'll know how great they are. And I know that you're going to take even more advantage of their help. So, Mr. Mix, we met with him and I had shown him because I had a previous encounter with a different advisor at the SBDC for a different business. And at that time, we used a particular tool. And when he saw that tool, he says, for this instance that's going to be too involved, let's use this other different tool. And as I said, every business plan will start with the executive summary, but that's precisely the last thing that you write because that's after you've done all your research. So let's go part by part, and then we'll finish back with the beginning of our business plan. So I'll tell you, page by page of our business plan, and then you can maybe get some ideas about what to do for your business plan. So first, there's a confidentiality statement. Whoever reads this plan has to understand that what we're providing them with strict confidentiality, and that's what we're going to do, part by part. And I'll tell you just in general about our business plan. Then our purpose was in this case to obtain that loan. That's why we did it. You can have a purpose of documenting your business, of organizing, of giving it to an investor, or whatever it is, the purpose of organizing your business plan. If you're going to be self-funded, you still, as I said, should do a business plan. And you should just put there why you're doing this business plan, which is basically to organize your business, whatever that is, that should be there. And many times we don't consider that, it doesn't have to be a 20, 30 page long business plan. It can be just a short thing, especially if you're doing something simple. The important thing is that you have it on paper, which is going to help you document and make it a reality. Then you're going to go through the description of your business. In our case, our SahaVida Institute is, a wellness center, and we go through that description in detail, the services that we're going to be providing, a little bit of history about how this business came to happen. Our business model is going to be very important to document there for whoever's reading, and then for your purposes too. And then we give some examples of similar places that we've known before doing this. How do we know that this business is going to help, is going to work? It might be that you're coming up with a novel idea of how to do a particular service or a new product. At the end of the day, most of us will be modeling after others that came before. So if you have that information, it's going to be very important because that gives a sense of security, for the people who are going to, in this case, they were going to loan us some money. And for you, if you're funding this, that is going to work. So you want to have seen that in the past. And as I've said sometimes before, we know that the previous success for anything is not going to ensure future success. Things happen, management changes, and change happens. It's the most for sure thing that you're going to have. And but it gives you some idea of how you can make this work. So giving those examples is going to be very important. And then after doing that, then we move to our legal structures. It's important that before sitting to build your business plan, that you have already identified your set of advisors. So that will go from your legal, and your legal team can be just, your just one general attorney versus having different types of attorneys depending on the situation in your business. Having your accountant, having the way that you're going to provide the funds, if it's a bank or whoever it is, having some, if you have consultants for different area of your business, if you're for your service or for your products, if you're going to be selling products, which companies are those? If you're going to be having some other consultants coming through, who are those people, and have them identified from before starting to write the business plan. So the legal structure is going to be there. And then for the ownership of the business, you're going to want to define who are those in the business, if it's only you or somebody else. The status of the business, that it's going to be like, are you starting the business? Is this like a second stage or a further stage? How long are you expanding? Sometimes we want to write these business plans because we're adding something to our business, our existing business, which is like an evolution of what you currently have. And that can be a reason to write the business plan. So you will also want to identify the status of the business. Once you've done that, then you go to your goals and objectives. So when you're writing this, you're going to have some main immediate goals, immediate focus that you're going to be identifying for that business. As I said, if it's a new business, then you're going to establish that. So we want the things that we want to do at the beginning is like, it's a new business. So we want people to know what our institute is, right? So we're going to be there. We want to build our team. We want to be able to get X amount of patients, what that is, what the services are going to be that we're going to be providing, and how many we want to do in what period of time. So those are going to be our goals in this case. In your case, for example, could be, as I said, as an expansion, right? We want people to reorganize this section of our company, and then we want to expand these services to this other area, or to bring a new product, and how much of that product we want to sell in what period of time. Then after describing your goals and objectives, we did our desired image. And the desired image is going to be based on something that's extremely important, which is our values, our mission, and vision. And the company should run really out of those values. That should be chosen more first than anything by that ownership, the ownership. And then from there, it trickles down through your company. And this is important because your management is going to measure against those values what your people are performing, right? How they're performing. It's going to be important for the culture of your company to have the values there. So the mission and vision for our clinical center are described there in the desired image, and creating a culture that's good for success, for people to stay together. We'll start there. Then after that, we describe the specific products and services. In our case, we have a membership base, and we had some other services from our physician services to vitamins and skin supplements, skincare, vitamin supplements, and other services that we have in the clinic. And you detail that, what it would be that you would be charging per service. And in our case, it would be a product. If you have a product, how much that would be. If there was any inventory, how much inventory would we have at the beginning of this, and for what period of time. So those are specific particulars that are for your specific products and services. Then in general, you describe the people who are going to manage. So you're going to need, in our case, we're going to need licenses from our physicians. So those licenses and permits, you don't need to have everything already determined or submitted. Or you don't have to have the final numbers or licenses assigned, but at least that that you recognize that you need those particular licenses to work, then you should mention it there. Suppliers, as I said, we had a list of specific suppliers. We're going to supply a lot of our materials identified to the company, but not only the company, the particular representative and their contact. It would be there. And then not only that, is how would we manage the relationship with our suppliers described there, specifically in terms of payments and things like that. Then moving on to the marketing, the first thing that we did on marketing was really describe our area, where our center is, and then describe the environment in terms of the amount of people, the population that we were targeting, and if we're going to stay local or if we're going to be expanding. And once we've described our avatar, really is what we're describing there, then we move on how we're going to reach that avatar. So then we describe specific advertising and promotional activities that we're going to be doing, how we're going to be reaching into our local communities, and our if there's any current relationships in the community, those are to be listed there. Also, any advantages that you might have in relationship to advertising and promoting, so that you can get your client, your ideal client. So first you describe the client, then you describe how you're marketing to them. Not everything, is perfect. You're not going to be working in a vacuum. So we then move on to the competitive analysis. We have to know how things are for that service and product that you're offering. In our case, we are offering a wellness center with personalized medicine. We describe that. We describe how and why we think that we're going to be successful in this area. So that's what we did with our competitive analysis. Then we describe in more detail, like the opportunity that we had from a business point of view, and the difference that we would be bringing as a business into our location, why it would be beneficial for our town to have us there. Then, we can say, oh, this is a wonderful opportunity. This is a wonderful place to come, and the difference. But as I said, there's going to be risk. So we want to be able to mitigate those risks. So we have to put risk mitigation strategies for our business and detail them. So which things are we doing that we're going to be making sure that we're going to have an edge? So in our case, we hire experienced consultants for different aspects in the business. And that's how a big part, and which were those specifically, how we're going to be monitoring the changes in our business as well. And we also had some evolution strategies for our business. If this happened, which other things we could do to be able to attract more clients to our business. As part of this, we did a thorough table of who are in town that would be, competitors that we are consider competitors. In reality, I have to tell it's a competitor's patients will have a choice, and that's like any business, you have to do that. It's in our case, it's really like a friendly competition. It's not to be like, we're enemies or anything. It's like, we're here to service our patients, our communities, and we want to all work together. But at the end of the day, the patients do have choices. So you want to identify those. In our case, our patients. In your case, could be, if you're creating a pajama, there's tons of different pajamas. So why would you be competing when the client goes to the store, against what you're going to be competing against? So you want to describe that competitor. You want to describe your advantage and your disadvantage against each of them. So that helps you understand what you're supposed to be doing to be able to ensure that your product is going to be sold, or your service is going to be accepted by others. Some of this research we did through like an SEO review. We had somebody help us from marketing, and we had they came from a marketing agency. They were looking to help us do our website, and I think they did a wonderful job, and they helped us with the most, the words that were most sought after. And then we were able to say, yes, these are services that people are looking for in our community. And then they justified to a certain extent our existence. We then described the location of the business, and more specifically how it would be even inside the business, the building, how it would be if we were going to be renting, leasing, or buying a building, and all the descriptions from inside. That was right there. Then we moved on to the organization of our clinic, our management, who was going to do what in terms of our management for the owners, and our background, and in which areas we've excelled, what makes us good for whatever it is that we're doing in our business. And you detail all those things. That gives the person who's going to read this business plan, especially if they are somebody who is going to put money on your hands, they want to see some type of experience and success related to the area that you're going to be working. or something that tells them that, yes, they're making a good investment on you. After that, we detail our professional assistance and services. That means that we had there our business consultant, our accountant, our attorneys, or brokers, or interior designer, banker, insurance, marketing, website, photography. All these things we detailed in our business plan. We then moved to say our personnel. So for the first year, who we're going to have, in our case, our physicians, our consultant, our staff, and the types of staff we're going to have, when we're going to add them, what type of, if they're going to be a subcontractor or not, if we're going to have different types of services there. And we went one by one, how much we were going to be paying them, where their duties were going to be, and all these things in detail. We then presented since at that time we had it already, a plan for our building. We had the building and distribution of the clinical areas already in a plan. And then you do a projection of your services in detail. These are tables that you're going to present with as much detail as you can. These are our pro formas. So there were projections based on our business consultant's experience. And that's what we submitted in detail. And then an example of a profit and loss that we were seeing, and then a preliminary cash flow. After we did all of that, then we are able to sit down and then do an executive summary, which is a summary of all that information that we've presented that basically you put in one page. So in that page, our executive summary is going to have a little paragraph of our opportunity, a little paragraph of your mission, a little paragraph about the solution, a paragraph about market focus, and a paragraph about expected returns. That executive summary will allow whoever reads this just, to have a very nice overview of your business plan. And then after that, they will have the detail. Now, what has been a great advantage for us to have this business plan? First, as I said, I cannot thank Mr. Bradley Mix enough for helping us with putting this together. It was really a great assistance to us. With this, we were able to secure the amount of money, and actually we were able to secure even more than what we were expecting to get originally with our business plan. So we were able to do that. It allowed us to really start things going and refer to it. Now, since this was done, things have changed greatly, immensely, and it's been less than a year since we did it, and things have changed a lot. So we've required a lot of adjustments, and we're in the middle of adjustments, and we are very pleased with the way that things have, are actually then coming back after all these changes. And we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot for a business. We've had businesses in the past. You're always learning. Getting actually different coaching has helped us. Changing consultants has helped us tremendously. There's things that we didn't recognize at the beginning, when you're so overwhelmed. Getting all this information really doesn't matter how many times you've done this, really is a lot to gather. And the more experience that you have, the easier will be. It's always a matter of how to make it easy. So we're happy to go and go with that way of thinking so that we make it work for us. But things have changed, and things that we've learned about change, for example, is that in our case, yes, we had there's stages in your business where some type of consultant is going to help you with the different stages, not with everything. And there are certain questions that we really didn't ask at the beginning out of some consultants, and we've had to readjust that. There's also parts of the business plan that had to be changed because of life events where people had different things that they had to change. So we've had to redo those parts. And now we're at a stage where we're going to get the actual plan and revise it again for our next year. So it has helped us a lot. We're very happy that we're here. And I really encourage you to, if you're going to do a business, there's a lot of passion. That's going to be the most important thing at the beginning. Acquiring knowledge is going to be the second thing. Getting assistance, coaching is going to be a very important part for your business. Putting everything in writing as much as you can for that planning is going to be crucial for you to have, a good solid base for a successful business. So thank you for listening to this story. I hope that you have a great time building your plan. This is an example of what, some of what we've done with ours and how things are evolving. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Well, guys, that was it for today. I hope that you learned some on how to design your business plan. Please join us for more in our next episode of Design Your Physician Life, this podcast that was brought to you by our Maxillary Mastermind, which is a personal professional development program for physicians. Check us out at maxillary.com. That is MAXALLURE. Please share this podcast with your friends and family and give us 5 stars. I hope that you have a great time. See you then. Thanks. Bye.
Please remember that Design is not providing specific financial, medical, or career advice. Our only intent is to stimulate your appetite for growth by sharing our experience and those of our speakers, coaches, and guests. Your personal growth and success will be unique to your circumstances and your hard work. We sincerely hope you enjoyed the show and look forward to seeing you next week.